drop off, and that sounds like they were just playing in ranked a bit earlier, so that's pretty cool. So we are going to see Shen at full power here.
No,
We are going to see the
maybe
mutual 6-3 start.
maybe his power, maybe his laptop might be more powerful here. His main computer.
All right, Shen does have some pretty rough misdrops to work through here. Well, they're definitely one of the more well-versed players when it comes to using IRS and surviving these seemingly unwinnable situations. This is phase 1, so accessing that well early is going to be nice, and they're going to start their zone as soon as they can. This is something that is pretty much a quirk of Shen's, playing almost like a level 10 CPU in that regard.
Yeah, and right now, Cole is starting off with that TSD tower right there, and that gives them a big boost for their zone.
And we're going to see Shen with this T-spin, but they are going to have to do a few tucks, which is going to be a hit to their speed, but it's not going to be a hit to the overall state of their board state. As they're just going to be able to tank all of this clean and spike it right back at COLDLESS.
What? Wait.
Not a good team
was...
drop, but an amazing conversion from Shen.
I know. I was gonna say that. I mean, that was really interesting from Shen. I noticed. I mean, facing that misdrop by by a T-spin, that just. I mean, that just happened to be convenient for Shen.
And fortunately for Shen, that was their transition zone, and COLDLESS is going to be full zoning from the bottom. So it's going to be a very rough transition for Shen, who does see the zone chunks and sees the end of the meter. But they did just end up getting their next quarter, so they're going to have no overcharge after this one. If that's good or bad, we're about to find out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Shen knowing to get out of situation in the zone. We'll see how Shen can manage the oncoming pressure from COLDLESS here.
And we are going to see the swag color clear from Shen. Down stacking pretty well, but those misdrops aren't looking good. Once again, just showing that Iris mastery right now. In a very sticky situation. Does have a quarter zone though, but forgets to pop it, and COLDLESS is going to take that round.
I think either way, I think either way, the residue, the bag that BEASTINSHEN had didn't look very ideal. But I mean, they did have an L there, which would have probably gave them a chance to get out. But like you said, they could have probably forgot to zone there, or they could have recognized that they didn't have any other options to escape with their residue.
Right now, both players were just dealing with a few misdrops of their own. BEASTINSHEN's came a little bit later, but they're both dealing with it just fine. It's phase 1, so nobody is in any clear advantage. But Shen's gonna decide to 3-wide in phase 1. Very interesting decision. Oh, that misdrop is going to cut their combo, and trying to fix this is also going to put a pin in their efficiency.
Oh, but Shen is still continuing to misdrop though. That's gonna put a roadblock on their zone here, as they are now have to exit the zone and dealing with a 29 attack. We'll see how they react to COLDLESS zone. They're gonna have to really be on the defense here, as COLDLESS has a really good zone up their sleeves.
Yeah, 29 is devastatingly low if you're Shen right now, and COLDLESS is actually showing some IRS knowledge of themselves there in order to get that zone there. And Shen in a pretty unfavorable spot, but they do see the zone chunks, so they're at least guaranteed to survive. But it's not looking good in terms of their zone pacing into this coming transition.
It's almost phase 3, and Shen now down stacking down with a 2-wide here. The COLDLESS just has a good stat, but they are forced to zone here as they have some garbage in their queue, and that just puts them in a tough spot right there. As well, I mean, Shen is also in a tough spot too, given their stat. But
you'd like to see the gears turning in Shen's head there. Like, do I tank that? And I definitely agree with the decision not to, but it was definitely an option that they did have, and I like the fact that they even contemplated that in the first place. And oh my goodness, what a donation from Shen there. They are going to get this counter forward. They're going to try and get as efficient as possible on their way down. Getting another TSD into count to 4. And COLDLESS is now going to start their own combo down. 5, 6. Ending right there upon seeing the TSD. And they're going to start their zone from decently low on the board, but at least that gives them a chance to get more efficient with it. And Shen is going to simul here. Very risky decision here, because simuls are usually what end up killing in phase 3, and they are on the back foot. But oh gosh, that mishold there.
It looked like Shen waited right there. Because like as soon as Shen placed down that piece, the garbage lines were already in the meter, and I mean it was already gonna be. It's already going to be quite impossible for them to get out.
Yeah, Shen likes to think really hard about their decisions in dire situations like that, which usually makes really good plays out of it, but sometimes you just don't have the time in order to do so.
Yeah, I mean, given how COLDLESS has been doing so far, really well with their consistency, I mean, I mean, you cannot sleep on COLDLESS right now. I mean, it's good, like you said. You know, pause and think of other solutions, but I mean, considering it's a speed game, I mean, you very have little.
Very true, very true. And COLDLESS is gonna set up this incomplete CST here.
Oh, but Shen with that finding there, down stacking. And now it's back to the bottom.
And Shen right now completely clean, but is going to be forced to tank some. The score is looking pretty even. Shen's going to send the zone first. And COLDLESS is in transition pace, so this is going to be a very interesting interaction. Shen has the capability for high lines. And they are going to find the ulti, but it's only going to send 47. Neither of which transition, and COLDLESS gets to tank, so they're going to be in a slightly better board state here. Unfortunately for them, they did do a few misdrops, and that's going to allow Shen to just completely overpower with their power stack.
Yeah, right now COLDLESS is at the top right here, looking very precarious here. But Shen also has some garbage, but I mean, COLDLESS is doing a good job at trying to downstack there. But as soon as I said that eyepiece puts a whole damper into trying to escape.
And that zone sends absolutely nothing to Shen. So if Shen's resourceful enough, they can definitely turn this into a potential game-winning zone. Able to get a decent 12-line start, trying to get those last 2 lines. They are going to find 31 attack, but COLDLESS is at the complete bottom, so they're going to exercise their right to tank. Is it a good decision? We're about to find out.
And BEASTINSHEN is just still looking for pressure right now, making some really timing decisions here. But Shen is still doing fine for the time being. Just a matter of how COLDLESS is going to get out and how BEASTINSHEN will continue on this with this punish for.
Shen has been in the pressure lead for most of this phase 3, but with each new misdrop gives COLDLESS a new opportunity to come back. And we're going to see that start to pile up as Shen gets higher and higher. And Shen does recognize that this zone is in fact forced. Trying to get as many lines as possible. Gonna send 13 over. But COLDLESS, I believe, is sending a full zone right now. And those bonus lines are gonna hit huge.
And that stack
And in
and the
dire
stack from Shen
circumstances,
isn't looking very favoring right now. Ending up having to clean that. But otherwise, they're damage free right now. They still have to deal with the garbage below. Polis is trying to look to try to regain that efficient status.
Cole is trying to capitalize on their micro down stacks, finding T-spins when they can. Shen's just completely prioritizing the count to 4 strategies here. Amazing donation! Still trying to capitalize on their lead in the pressure war. But once again, misdrop after misdrop, just giving COLDLESS more opportunities to come back.
And Colas with that great of a down stack is now at the bottom of the board, and that just puts Chen in a really tough spot to try to come back from this. Colas will now enter the zone here, but wait, what happened to Shen? Shen is kind of waiting there, but
Shen's trying to think about their best course of action, but unfortunately, COLDLESS was able to take that fully efficient zone from the bottom. Shen kind of had to take that because there is no way they were able to cancel everything with one zone, but at the same time, it's just not enough time. And COLDLESS is going to take their 3rd round, currently on sweet pace.
both line attacks are so equal in this match.
Yeah, sometimes raw stats aren't everything. It's about when you make the play. That timing matters quite a lot.
For sure.
And Shen very interestingly ends up blocking access to their well there for a different T-spin. Which is quite dangerous, but this is phase 1, so they know that they're confident in their ability to re-access the well. And they are going to zone pretty much as soon as they get it. Once again, struggling for well access. That is going to be the end of their zone, but it was phase 1, so that 30 isn't too low, knowing that they're going to get their meter back by the time COLDLESS finishes. Currently having a decently efficient zone of their own.
Yeah, Cole's doing a good job with their zone, but they have to cut it just a little bit because of that misdrop right there.
You also love to see that final skim that COLDLESS did. Ended up fixing their entire board state as they exit zone. And Shen's gonna need to cancel a lot here. That's exactly what they do. Sending a tad bit to COLDLESS. It was currently doing some column 7 ST.
Yeah, I mean with that ST, it's gonna put it's gonna be so much favored for Colas here to put some pressure onto Shen.
And Shen is going to send 14 over, but unfortunately for Shen, COLDLESS is once again at the bottom of their board with the max zone. They have the opportunity to do something really efficient here, but in doing so, they have to give Shen time. And they are going to go ahead and take that risk.
And Shen's gonna have to react fast. Because at the moment, Colas is really navigating to their zone very well. And oh wait, oh my gosh.
The C-spin from Shen is an amazing way to start this zone, but that was quite a large attack from COLDLESS. So I wonder if it's gonna be enough, even if they're seeing zone chunks.
Yeah,
Might end up coming down to overcharge.
With a bit of that half zone, I believe I saw. I mean, it kind of helped a little bit for Shen, but I mean they still have to accept some garbage, and ultimately they're now back at the top.
Yeah, these lines coming in like Hydra heads. For every line that Shen clears, COLDLESS is sending 2 more, and they're just getting pushed farther and farther. And a lack of IRS in that scenario probably didn't recognize that they were receiving there, unfortunately, is going to put COLDLESS in sweep pace match point.
How many sweeps we've seen in this set so far?
Most of them. I think we've only seen 2 non-sweeps thus far.
Yeah, because so far, like some of these players have been very dominant, and it's showing for COLDLESS as well.
And Shen
Telling
doing some
why they
very aggressive tanking there, but they know their limits. They're gonna start cascading down any second now.
and will
Okay, Argo
activate
starts
zone
their zone with
here.
that double Tetris. Cole is gonna activate as well. Shen choosing to go for that T-spin donation, and it will pay
Oh
off.
wait,
Has the capability
wait,
to do some higher clears here. And is going to
not
be
able to
sending
find it.
59 ulti over to COLDLESS.
Yeah, but
Who's
it's
gonna
still a
receive a one life?
significant zone. Yeah, it definitely helps Shen there. Despite the curve potential, which didn't happen, but Shen's zone was still significant to
For
be able
sure.
to battle off what Cola was about to send.
Shen finding a nice 5 combo there. That was actually a kill threat on COLDLESS, forcing them to down stack out of their power stack. And we are going to see this transition zoneless, as neither player had a max zone and wanted to burn what little they had into the transition. But once again, we're going to see COLDLESS prioritizing getting to the bottom of their board. Bish and Shen not too far behind, but they're going to go ahead and fire it off first. Shen is skimming through a lot of this zone, so it's going to be quite the pin on efficiency. Getting all the way up to Deca Hexa. COLDLESS does see the zone chunks.
Yeah, I mean, with those mistrusts from Shen's side puts a roadblock on Shen, and Cola is be able to utilize that properly. As Shen mistrusts again, and that puts a whole other challenge that Shen is gonna have to force zone here.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Shen there. They had to try and cancel the full screen spike and immediately ends up misdropping, forcing them to burn what little zone they had in the tank. But COLDLESS right now is struggling to access well, finds their eyepiece exactly when they need it, and oh my goodness, the Q loves them, finding that T-spin and this combo down.
Yeah, when when moments when it really matters, take every opportunity, especially given ones.
And Shen right now is just being forced on this continuous down stack, once again receiving these lines like Hydra heads. COLDLESS pressure is a little bit too strong. Shen's gonna have to end up using a full zone at the top of their board, so they're gonna be capped on lines. Finds a significant combo, able to cancel 24. And COLDLESS finds a significant combo too, getting all the way up to 19 lines.
Yeah, and
Shen sees
that
his
just
zone,
puts
doesn't have enough meter.
a, and that's a round for Colas here.
And that's yet another sweep.
Like Colas showing their dominance, even with their recent rise on the scene in TEC.